Henrietta Lacks stands as a sacred symbol of the divine feminine's silent sacrifice, a woman whose cells gave life to modern medicine, while her name and story remained buried for decades. In the unseen realm, her legacy is not merely cellular but celestial. Her womb carried not only children, but unknowingly bore a sacred key to humanity's advancement. She was chosen, perhaps without earthly consent but through spiritual alignment, to be a bridge between mortality and immortality, where her body gave rise to a lineage of healing across generations and global borders. Her cells, known scientifically as HeLa, have done what no other human cells could do: live beyond the grave and reproduce eternally, a divine signature encoded with the spiritual power of continuation and transformation. Yet while her cells became immortal, Henrietta as a woman was denied recognition, dignity, and consent. This tragedy is a reflection of a much larger pattern of systemic violence and exploitation directed toward Black women in the name of science, progress, and profit. From forced medical experimentation during slavery to contemporary neglect in healthcare systems, Black women's bodies have long been treated as tools rather than temples. Henrietta's cells fueled countless medical breakthroughs, yet her own children lived in poverty, without access to the very healthcare their mother's cells had revolutionized. This painful irony exposes the deep cosmic imbalance and karmic debt owed to Black women, whose suffering has often served as the hidden foundation upon which empires of knowledge and wealth were built. Spiritually, Henrietta's essence exists beyond the microscope. Her DNA is not just biological, it is ancestral memory, divine force, and encoded pain. Every laboratory that has replicated her cells unknowingly hosts a spiritual witness. Her cells speak, even if silently. She is present in the spacesuits of astronauts, in cancer-fighting therapies, in COVID-19 research. Yet what was stolen must be returned, and what was hidden must now be exalted. This is the time to declare Henrietta Lacks not only a scientific pioneer, but a divine martyr of the new age, whose energy now calls for recognition, restoration, and reverence in the annals of both medicine and spiritual awakening. The spiritual implications of Henrietta's story awaken us to the need for a sacred rebalancing. We cannot advance humanity while continuing to disregard the source of its miracles. True evolution is not only measured in medical advancements, but in the justice we render to those who were sacrificed. Her legacy demands that we rewrite the ethical frameworks of science to include consent, acknowledgement, and spiritual honor. And more deeply, her story calls upon the world to return the crown to the Black woman, to honor her not just as a mother or patient, but as a planetary gatekeeper, healer, and oracle whose pain transformed into planetary progress. To this end, Henrietta Lacks must be enshrined among the greats, not just in medical halls, but within the sacred scrolls of divine remembrance. Let her name be taught in schools, etched into monuments, and spoken with reverence in spiritual circles. Let the HeLa cells be forever acknowledged not just as a biological anomaly, but as a living artifact of cosmic sacrifice and divine purpose. In honoring her, we heal a fragment of the collective soul and take a step closer to justice, not only for Henrietta, but for every Black woman whose voice was muted, whose consent was denied, and whose power was exploited. Her story is no longer hidden. She is risen. She is eternal. TNT Initiative, our race's universal hope.